Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Imam Mark here from Middle Ground. And I want to announce the return of one of our very popular classes called Understanding Islam. It's a class that I teach on Sunday evenings here at the center from 6 to 7. And it's a class that covers a wide variety of topics. We explore the Quran, we explore the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We explore, morality, ethics, you name it. So to give an idea of, what the class is, a young man recently actually approached me asking both what is Sharia, could I define it for him? He's a young high school student. And beyond that, what are our expectations of the Sharia? So we had a brief topic talking about Sharia, about what it is, what it isn't, that for instance, it has a prescriptive aspect to it, that it may prescribe for you to do a particular thing, like fast in the month of Ramadan, or the 5 daily prayers, or it may also prescribe something that you cannot do, like drinking intoxicants or eating pork. So the discussion then went to the topic of food. And he was curious about the Sharia's position on meat and its permissibility. And I said, well, halal food, or in this case, halal meat, right? Which, by the way, it seems like whenever we use the word halal, it seems to always refer, to meat. But in terms of the slaughter and other things, okay, fine. Once we determine that a meat is permissible to eat, is to say nothing about whether we should eat it, how much we should eat of it, when we should eat, so on and so forth. And that sometimes we have this expectation of the Sharia of things that it isn't really prepared to do. So I said, one, permissibility of meat has nothing to do with taste, right? So simply because we determine a cut of meat is permissible to eat, will say nothing about its tastiness, its health, right? Whether it's healthy. And then also, as we said, how is it eaten? Do we eat alone? Do we eat in a group? Can food be something, both nutritious but also enjoyable, right? The cultural aspect of food, which is very important, of determining, how we season it and prepare it and cook it and whatnot, right? We're not going to get to that from the Sharia. And therefore, the thing that Sharia might be most concerned with is the permissibility of a food item. But even though a thing can be determined to be permissible, says nothing to whether or not we should have it or it's frequent. So I said, take for instance a non-meat item like table salt, right? Salt is generally considered to be, or rather table sugar, right? Table sugar is generally considered to be permissible to eat. But what we understand now about sugar and its relationship with the body, not only in its impact on diseases like diabetes, but also on its impact on cardiovascular health, even though sugar is permissible to eat, the Sharia may not be able to tell us how much of it we ought to eat, or when we should eat it, or who, right? Children, right? Young children eating in excess of it and how it may impact their cognitive development and their behavior and so on, right? So in this class, Understanding Islam, we like to look at things, both from that kind of 10,000-foot level and then drill down to the granular level and really investigate things so that we can really help to determine how we can live a life worth living, right? As I like to say, both a life worth living for and a life worth dying for. And a lot of those little pieces that are in between the nooks and the crannies and in the cracks, we may not be able to force the Sharia in this instance, right, to be able to tell us. and yet those things are very important to our lives. So that's just one example of some of the topic and discussion that we get into understanding Islam. And this is a class that the whole family is welcome, kids, adults. So again, it's on Sundays, 6 to 7. Inshallah, we hope to see you there. Imam Mark signing off from Upland in Middle Ground. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.